XRP to radically transform and shake the banking system. And I'm going to show you something that nobody's paying attention to. Remember, you're paying for your attention. So in today's video, I'm going to break down what China is about to do that is going to radically transform the financial system. I'm going to show you what America is doing in just my opinion. Remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I am a licensed insurance agent helping people with IUL. We've gotten thousands of questions about it since I announced it. Inside the protection of our Warrior Academy, listed down below, we have our 5 pillars of wealth. You can get education on IUL, Index Universal Life, and the infinity banking concept. You can also join my revolutionary 120-day challenge, or if you're ready to break free from the just over broke system, we can teach, train you to become licensed and become part of my insurance team as I build one of the largest insurance teams to help people get out of the just over broke and understand how this economic system works. Description down below. All right, so let's dive into it. So first of all, I'm going to start with something that I don't see a lot of people talking about. And so my skill set is macro and microeconomics. I'm not looking at the micro. I don't even look at my portfolio on a daily basis. I look at the macro look at the economic system as interest rates go up and they're trying to cool inflation. Inflation is stuck, right? And Jerome Powell said we're going to get it down to 2% and they're going to jack up interest rates in Q3, Q4 in the American financial system. You're going to start to see a massive pullback. So here's what I think is going to happen. Q3, Q4, we're going to start to see a lot of layoffs. You're going to see the reverberation effect of interest rates. The capital markets are going to come pulling down, which will be crypto and the stock markets. You're going to see people who have worked their whole lives to build up their 401k to retire have to extend their retirement because when the market comes back in 2024, as we bring in a new presidency, right, they pull the markets back. All the big asset managers get invested in these speculative technologies. And then when the new presidency comes and the new, when they're running and campaigning and all that stuff, the capital markets are going to come back because they're going to show, look at what I did for the markets. And that is your opportunity. It's like that moment in time where if you understand how these markets work, you buy when people are fearful and then you sell when everybody's excited. So when you're coming into crypto next year, we're selling you our crypto. We do the opposite of everybody else. The difference maker that we have in our Warrior Academy, where we taught over 6,000 people, is we're not just in cryptocurrency. We secure and we grow our wealth and multiply it like the richest man in Babylon. Highly recommend you read that book. So this is something that nobody's paying attention to. You're always paying for your attention. So China is printing money for countries like Poland, Brazil at full steam right now as it tries to expand its influence in the global economy. You have over 20 countries trying to join the BRICS: Brazil, India, Russia, China, and South Africa. They have come together with a coalition that is way more powerful and building more power and more steam. And this is very, very, very bad for our economy in America. If China turns on the printing machine and they start to fund other countries like Poland, Brazil, and so when you start printing money, what happens? You have massive GDP growth, right? So with America's policies, we're in a dangerous position. America's at 120% debt income ratio. Most of our China is held outside the United States by Japan and China. And now China is going to turn on the printing machine. Well, let me show you what America is doing right now with its money supply. So as China turns in, I'm going to, the videos about XRP, I'm going to share with you what I think is happening with XRP in just a moment. But I think this is really important to understand for your investment thesis. So right now, what's happening, the M2 money supply, so China's turning the printing machines on full blast. We turned ours off and we cut off the money supply. We're raising interest rates, destroying other economies. So China's like, screw you guys. I'm going to turn the printing machine on full blast. I'm going to fund other countries. We're going to become the new superpower as America collapses down. Now, don't get scared. Everybody's like, the American dollar is not going to just disappear. Since 2002 to 2023, the central banks and their holdings of US dollars have gone down 14%. So it is steadily declining, but it's your time to start to make moves. So everybody's like, oh, the great reset. Oh, they're going to hit a button and boom. It's like, guys, this has been going on. Sorry to be facetious about that, but it's true. It drives me crazy. Everybody's like, tomorrow they're going to hit the button. And today, guys, the button has been hit every day, slowly, methodically, decision, problem, reaction, solution, problem, reaction, solution. Every single day, every single move I'm showing you is moving us into a new digital age, on-demand liquidity, okay? Real-time payments. So right here, this is our money supply. Look at July 2022 to March 2023. So as they raise interest rates, they cool inflation, they reduce their securities holding. The money supply in America is being choked off. So Americans are going to start losing their job. They're going to get leverage towards technology. America is going to start losing its dominance because of the BRICS countries working to de-dollarize. And going back to this, is pay attention to this narrative. Nobody's paying attention to this. Is China is printing money. They're like, let's go. Let's just turn the printing machines on full blast, just like America has done and destroyed our economy since 1971, detaching us from the gold standard. All right, so let's dive into the XRP narrative here, okay? So I've been sharing with you guys, XRP is going to radically transform the banking system. Whether you like it, whether you hate it, you can't stop it, guys. This is what's happening. XRP was picked and Ripple was picked because it was the most disruptive technology in the world. And because of America's bad policies and politics and greed, the bullies have completely lost control of the system. And we're now in an economic decline. We're going into civil war. So it makes sense that the left and right are getting us to fight now and getting the normal American people, the freest country in the world, freedom of speech, to go against all of our freedoms. And when we're focused over here and we're in the Coliseum, the Trojan horse comes in, which is a brand new financial system. If you watch my video yesterday, I'll attach it right here. Basically, Klaus Schwab tells you what's coming. So the IMF advisors see power in global ledger that works with CBDCs. We talked about this on our video yesterday. Multi-currency system with a new settlement token. The IMF suggests developing distinct and standard digital representation for fiat currencies, allowing interchangeability. Interoperability. Under the vision, XC platforms would facilitate multi-currency transactions without introducing a new settlement asset. Cryptocurrencies such as XRP have been pitched as such middleware, middleman, bridge currency, as a cryptocurrency. And then the next day this comes out. This is all methodically planned out. Deutsche Bank applies for digital asset license amid growth push. Deutsche Bank Bank AG has applied for regulatory permission to operate as a custodian service for digital assets such as cryptocurrency. We're building out our digital assets on custody business. David Lin, who runs the lending commercial banking unit, said at a conference Tuesday. We put our application into BaFin for the digital asset license, he said, referring to Germany's security watchdog. So as America pushes back on XRP, as XRP is getting set up throughout the ecosystem and all over the world, why do you think they're pushing back on XRP? Because Jamie Dimon and BlackRock, Larry Fink, run the financial system. Larry Fink was tapped by the Federal Reserve in 2008 and 2002 to balance out our markets. Okay, Larry Fink is connected to Coinbase. Circle is connected to Coinbase through Aladdin. JP Morgan has its own token, Onyx, which is already operating in some of the biggest private banks in India. Bank of America is connected to Ripple. Bank of America is a juggernaut in the financial system. Guys, some people use Samsung, some people use Apple, some people use a Cricket phone. It's not one size fits all. All of these blockchain technologies that are already operating are going to be here. Okay, so this is big, big news. So Deutsche Bank seeks crypto custody license approval in Germany, but I want to show you something back in 2018. So this is the Banker Financial Intelligence Guide by Deutsche Bank. Okay, this is cash management, the game changers in payments. Let's just type in XRP. And boom, let's read this paragraph here together if you want to pause the video. Okay, it says solving for liquidity. Mr. Lowe reports that the IBM has been working closely with banks and the central banks over the past 18 months around introducing more liquidity measures into its network through issuing alternative digital assets such as stablecoins, which are banks issued assets. Remember, this is 2018, guys, that represent a claim of fiat currency deposits. We're exploring the ability to introduce the equivalent of digital cash, which is not issuing a pure play cryptocurrency, but one that acts as a bridge asset. That's what XRP is. It's not a security, is a cryptocurrency. Ripple is also trying to solve the cross-border liquidity issue. Well, the Xcurrent platform, okay, so I want you to see that right here, the Xcurrent platform. And then we look back here, they say the IMF suggests, so go back here, the IMF suggests developing a distinct standard digital representation for fiat under the XC. Is it the Xcurrent platform maybe? Is there a connection here? I'm not sure, but the Deutsche Bank in 2018 was talking about the Xcurrent platform provides better information and processing for payments. Its Xrapid product provides the liquidity for cross-border payments by leveraging XRP. The digital asset has a bridge currency according to Mr. Burla. For example, Calix and a U.S. non-bank financial institution is now using Xrapid to make payments to the U.S. and Mexico. Calix can send a payment in US dollars, which gets converted into XRP through a digital exchange such as Bitso in Mexico. And then the locally converts XRP instantly into Mexican pesos to make the payment. Problem, reaction, solution. The number 3 market cap cryptocurrency in 2020 was sued by the SEC. And this case has taken 3 years, family. Think about that for just a moment. Use your logical circuit. And 2022 was a destruction of cryptocurrency, a collapsed stablecoin. Celsius collapsed. FTX collapsed. Gary Gensler met with the FTX. There's been no legal action against FTX, but they go after Coinbase and Binance. Coinbase is connected to BlackRock through Aladdin. Circle is connected to Coin or BlackRock, right? All these connections. The World Economic Forum. Larry Fink sits on the board of trustees. Think about that. Ripple sits on the board for the World Economic Forum. Circle sits on the board for World Economic Forum. You don't think this is a planned out, methodical, systematic change of our financial system? Guys, everybody keeps telling you there's a switch. It's been flipped for a long time, guys. You can't just print money to oblivion and have debt buried. We're bankrupt. So the only way to fix this is velocity of money. And that's exactly what this fixed. It's not by chance that FedNow Services is now a qualified direct deposit at Wells Fargo Bank, which is a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 days a year system. You're going to be getting your stimulus checks or your UBI on those systems when you lose your job, because we don't understand the financial system. The baby boomers are giving you advice on how to do your finances in a world that doesn't exist anymore. They could go to school. They could get a good job. They could get a $30,000 education and get a $100,000 a year job with a good pension. That's gone. They could go to school and they could get an education for $30,000, pennies on the dollar, until the government got involved and subsidized loans, and it became $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 to get a $30,000 a year job. Parents, stop telling your kids to go to school, get a job, and get a 401k and a secure job. Think about that. The job market has changed. My daughter has a just over broke, a job. She trades time for money, but she takes her money and she takes that money and multiplies it. My daughter will be wealthier than most doctors and lawyers that will go to school for 6 to 9 years by having a minimum wage job, because she started investing when she was young. She took her graduation money. She put it into the capital markets. She's getting set up with her index universal life policy, and she has years and years to compound. She will retire with more money than people have worked 30 to 40 years in their life. Stop teaching your kids how to be poor. Stop. Your kids are pouring money into these colleges that are subsidized by the government, when we're educating people for $62 a month and giving them an education that radically changes their life inside our Warrior Academy. The whole game has changed, Warriors. The whole game has changed. It's time to wake up. It's time to understand how the rewiring of the system works. When they rewire the system, you have to. If you grew up with poor parents, you're going to continue to be poor no matter how much money you make in crypto. You have to rewire the foundation. You should be reading Intelligent Investor, Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon, Becoming Your Own Banker. I've been using IUL for over 2 years now. So much I loved it that I got licensed, and I'm building my own team and teaching people how to do this, because it's such a radical transformation on how the banking system uses our money. You should be securing your wealth. You should be getting tax-free retirement. The 401k is designed to keep you broke. Do you realize everybody's like, well, do the Roth. A Roth, rich people don't use Roths. They don't use 401ks. If you make over $250,000 a year, you can't even do a Roth. So a Roth is designed to keep you poor. $250,000 a year now is not a lot of money. People making 6 figures now are struggling paycheck to paycheck. An 1,800 square foot home, a single family home I bought in Arizona during these interest rates, was $600,000, $4,000 a month. How can the normal everyday person afford that? It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up and take control of your own monetary system. And I'm not against the banks. I'm not against anything. They're not a nonprofit organization. They're very clear on what they do with your money. We just have not educated ourselves. The schooling system teaches us whack economics. Our parents are teaching us how to do it in the industrial era, which is about to get smashed. You know, these gurus are telling you, don't do this. This is bullshit. But listen, they're in the old system. These gurus have a bunch of money stacked. These older, influencers in the financial space, they have a bunch of money. They have a bunch of net worth. They have a bunch of money sitting in their bank account. It's easy for them to say, but now you spend $200,000 on an education, and you make $30,000 a year and a mortgage now is $4,000 a month, if you don't understand how the money system works, you can hire every single guru in the world until you rewire the brain. Everybody's going to teach you how to make money. Okay. You have to increase your earning capacity. Number one, yes, you can do that through a budget, but then you need to learn how to grow that money. Okay. You need to increase your earning capacity, which is doing a budget, opening up cash flow, understanding how to build. You can build a business. There's all kinds of things you can do in this society. If you hate your job, then build a business. We built 7-figure ecosystems off of TikTok, guys. The game has changed. Think about that for just a moment. A long-haired hippie dude has built 7-figure ecosystems on TikTok because my daughter introduced me. What did everybody tell you? TikTok was for dancing kids. The average age group that come on my academy is 35 to 70 years old. 99% of them came from TikTok, and the average income is $75,000 to $250,000 a year. Stop getting indoctrinated by people who have not done shit with their lives. I'm very passionate about helping people get out of this poverty into the top 1% in the population, because wealth is not this, it's knowledge. And when you have knowledge, you have power. It doesn't matter who comes back as in the presidency. It doesn't matter if Biden stays in presidency. It's your actions, your behaviors, and understanding how the money flows. And that money is a frequency, it's an energy, it's a vibration. And when you change, the world changes. Not when someone else changes things in the world. When you change, when you decide. And remember, indecision is a decision. It's time to activate. Warriors, get your shit together. Let's go. Love you guys.